Welcome in, welcome back. I missed everybody. I missed doing these. I was sort of out of commission for 2 weeks because I had an event and I'm on a crazy book deadline. But I'm happy to be back. I am Tammy Mastroberti, best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You, and I teach people how to tap into what I call the divine higher helpline. And we are literally at the end of our 3-month-long event that I've been hosting called the Living an Elevated Existence Summit. At 1 p.m. Eastern today, I will be doing group oracle card readings for summit attendees. If you are not signed up, you can still sign up at elevatedexistencesummit.com because we are going into final replay season. So that means we are going to be opening and closing all of the interviews, the animal communicators, the intuition experts. We just had somebody yesterday, Stephanie Banks, who teaches people how to channel. Manifestation, Dee Wallace was amazing. So many different topics, 2 classes that I taught. And so we're going into final replay season. My cat is dancing around me, which means she's going to try and jump up. And so you can still join. This weekend, actually, we're opening up all of the replays from March. So that's elevatedexistencesummit.com. I've been having such a blast this season. It is our 10th season. It's a big sort of anniversary, and it's been awesome. So just had to get that out before I jump into what I'm going to be talking about today. I've been super, super busy, juggling a lot of things, but I am back, and I will be back to be doing these every week again. I know so many of you enjoy them and look forward to them. So, and I do too. I really do. I enjoy doing them and coming on here and just doing a quick teaching or sharing something crazy from my life, with the hopes of boosting your spirit. Here's the cat. So today I thought, you know what? Let me talk about asking the universe for a sign and then tips for receiving it, because lately I've been hearing from people, and this came up in something in the book that I'm writing now, and also with my niece. So I want to share a little bit about that, because I think sometimes I teach people to assign signs, right? So especially when we are struggling and when we feel like we are alone, whether it be a loved one or just the universe as a whole, your collective team of angels, a specific angel or ascended master that you are calling on or working with. I teach people to call in higher help. And so, oh, my sister's here on lunch. I'm talking about Lissy in a minute. Alyssa, my niece. So anyway, I teach people to do that, right? And so I just tell you, just ask for a sign. And sometimes I think if you're new to signs and you simply ask for a sign without being specific, then sometimes it's harder to receive that sign or notice that sign. So a lot of the, and also, especially if we're in a place where we are very stressed out, very overwhelmed, very upset, it's harder to see them. So that's why I tell people, not only ask for a sign, but ask for a specific sign, right? Like ask for a sign that you will be on the lookout for, okay? And so in doing this, what I mean is, let's say you want to hear from a loved one, you would say, please use your name. If you want to hear from, maybe you are, on a healing journey and you're working with Archangel Raphael, you can assign the sign of a daisy, an animal, a number, whatever it might be, but picking a sign and assigning it. And I think a lot of the times people will get mixed up in that because they will ask for a specific sign. Let's say you ask for a rose. Say, send me a sign of a rose. Doesn't have to, it doesn't even, you could even say red rose. Be as specific as you want. They can do it. And so they then think, oh, I gave the sign of a rose. I gave the flower. So I have to see that flower. I have to physically see a flower somewhere in the world, in the universe. I have to see an actual flower. And it doesn't work like that, because you can, and sometimes you will see the actual flower, but I always tell people don't discount flowered wallpaper, right? You go into a bathroom in a restaurant and there's red roses on the wallpaper. That counts as a sign. You see a picture on social media and there's a red rose that somebody shared. That's a sign, right? Um, you uh and sometimes you'll go out into the world and you'll see a flower growing somewhere and you'll go, oh my gosh, that's my sign. You could be watching TV and all of a sudden there's like some b-roll where they're flashing a garden and you see a bush of red roses. That's your sign, right? And so and don't be surprised if it happens quickly. That's the other thing I think. And I've done this myself. I've asked for a sign and then like minutes later I've seen it and then I go, no, 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 that doesn't count. That can't be it. It could not have happened that fast. And when that occurs, I just always say, ask for another sign. Ask for a repeat. Say, can you okay, I get it. I see that, but I'm not 100% sure. Can you do it again? So I tell this because a lot of times I'll hear from people, and I remember years ago I was interviewed on a podcast, and I was talking about assigning a sign, and so the woman was like, "Oh, I think I'm going to assign a sign to my grandmother, and I'm going to do a red balloon in the sky." Like she was trying to be real specific, right? Because she was like, "Well, let's see if this really works." And so she's like, "I'm going to do a red balloon in the sky," and I said to her, "Awesome, do a red balloon in the sky, but don't that you have to walk outside your house and see a red balloon floating in the sky. It doesn't have to be like that. You could see a picture of a red balloon in the sky. You could be watching TV and a red balloon floats across the sky. That counts, right? You don't have to be literal. And sometimes I think we block sometimes the signs coming in when we do ask for one because we're thinking it has to be exactly literal or exactly what we think, right? And so I remember I said that to her and she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. I wouldn't have thought of that." I go, "Of course, you're going to think you have to go outside and see a red balloon floating in the sky and then that's your sign." Like a week later, she emailed me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." I think she had come across it was an actual picture that she found or she saw that had the red balloon in the sky and she was floored and she was like, "I can't believe it. This is so cool. Amazing." So I say that to you because if you pick a specific thing like that, I don't want you to think it has to be that specific or that literal. Now, what's interesting, the story I want to tell about my niece is that she knows that I teach signs and I say that you can ask for them. I think she's seen me on probably on Instagram. Maybe she'll see this, who knows. And so she will often like she asked for a something purple. I forget what it was and she got it, but it took like a month and I was like that I promise you it's because you're not paying attention. You know what I mean? If you ask for a sign, they're going to send it. You're just not aware of it. So she's been periodically telling me, "Oh, I asked for this. I'm still waiting for this. I'm still waiting for this." And so recently I didn't know, but she asked for a sign of a ladybug that was specific to like if this is this, let me see a ladybug. Like that type of a deal. She got real specific with it. And she emailed me, and I want to say maybe it was only like one day or something. I know it was super fast this time. And she texted me, and she goes, "Oh my god, you're not gonna. This is ridiculous." I'm like, "What? What happened?" She's like, "I asked this, and I asked for a ladybug, and she's 17, by the way. She's like, and I was sitting in school, and they played a video in school, and on the video was a ladybug. And then I was telling my friends, and my other friend was like, "Wait a minute, doesn't so and so have? Isn't that a ladybug on your sock?" And so her friend had a lady, and she's like, "What is this? Is this a coincidence? Does this count?" I was like, "What do you mean? You not only got one, you got two within like 24. Of course it counts. What do you like? What?" It was so funny. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what people think. Like, And she got it quickly this time. And, you know, like I said, in the past, I know she's tried stuff and she's waited and then and then she'll eventually get it. But this was so fast that she questioned. She was like, "How could this be? I just asked for this. Like, and does that count?" I saw, you know, and again, Ladybug, she's thinking a Ladybug's got to land on her car. She's got to see the bug, right? No, she saw a movie in school and there was a ladybug. She saw her friend who had a sock on that had an outline of a ladybug, right? That counts. Yes, counts big time, Mary is saying. Yes. I said to her, "Are you kidding me?" Yes, yes, and yes, it counts. Okay. And that's how the universe works, right? You ask it for a specific sign, a ladybug. The universe then knows, oh, okay, we're going to draw her attention to the fact that she's going to be tomorrow, she's going to see this movie in school. Maybe they even like, we're going to make sure the teacher plays this movie in school. And then she's going to see the ladybug. And then when she tells her friends that she asked for the sign and she just saw a ladybug, her other friend is going to, I'm going to make sure that her friend wears the sock that has the ladybug on it, right? The universe arranges all this stuff to answer us, and all these other people play a role in it. We have no idea. The people have no idea. Her friend had no clue she was putting on a ladybug sock, okay? And that was going to be a sign for her. But that is how it works. That is how all these moving pieces come together. And that is the magic of the universe. I always say the universe sort of has this unique vantage point, like whether we're asking it for a sign or we're asking it for help with something specific, like maybe we're asking it for help creating something, or you know, for help creating more money, a new job, new relationship, whatever it might be. The universe, your angels, your guides, ascended masters, loved ones, gods, goddesses, I can go on, all your higher helpers have this vantage point where they can see all the moving pieces, not just of your life, but all of the lives of the people that you are interacting with, to make things happen, to create opportunities, to create. This cat is not going to just walk right across my desk right now while I'm trying to talk. Have you lost your mind? Go ahead. Go. Go. I mean, she had to get to the corner of my desk. The universe has this unique vantage point of seeing all of it and being able to move these pieces together to give you a sign, to create an opportunity, to bring an idea to you, to point you in the direction of where you need to go. And that is the magic of it all. And I just love that she texted me that last week, because I was laughing at my desk and I was like, this is how it works. This is how it works. And yes, that is a sign, right? It doesn't have to be an actual ladybug crawling up your arm. It doesn't have to be the actual rose or flower, right? We have to sort of open up to that and realize the universe is on it right away. It doesn't take them a lot of time. It takes you more time to notice it. I promise you, if it's been a week, you missed a sign, and it will continue to put the red balloon in front of you, the ladybug in front of you, the rose in front of you. It will continue to do it until you see it. And then they're like, oh, he or she got the message and now I'm good, right? That's how it works. That is the power and the magic that we have available to us every day. We have direct access every day of our lives to this higher, magical, creative powerhouse. And whether it's a sign letting us know that all is well, or reassuring us in some way, a sign pointing us in the right direction, helping us make a decision, helping us manifest something in our lives, all of it, we have access to it. And yet we sit and we try to do things by ourselves. That's a whole other story for a whole other day. I just want to talk about signs. But I just thought that was the coolest thing ever, because it's such a great example. And so I just loved it. And I had to share it because I was like, oh my gosh, she's so like everybody else, where you just think like, well, it couldn't have happened that fast. I remember years ago, I asked, I was told by a medium, back over 10 years, That Mother Mary in the Catholic faith, which is it's a big deal in my family. My mother was very devoted to the Blessed Mother, and her mother was very devoted to the Blessed Mother, and it sort of went passed on through the family. And so a medium had said to me, "Oh, she's one of your guides," and I was like, so I remember one day in meditation, I asked, I was like, "Well, listen, if you're one of my guides," and I gave her the sign of a red rose. I said, "Can you just use the sign of a red rose within the next couple days so that I and bring my attention to it, right? Don't just send the sign, but help me recognize it." That's sort of how I always do it. And just give me that sign of the red rose. And then when I notice it, I'll know it's true. You're actually one of my guides. I can call on you for help. Now, anybody could call on Mother Mary for help, but I just found it fascinating that I was told she was one of my guides in this life. And so, never forget, I got up from the meditation area, went to my desk to work for the day. I had a calendar on my desk at the time. And so I flipped the page of it, or I ripped it off, or whatever it was. And the background of the new day, red rose. And I was like, oh, no, that can't count. I just asked for it. Like that was a coincidence. That's not true. So I literally, I sat there and I was like, listen, do it again. Like, I can't take that. That was too fast. That was ridiculous. How is that possible? And so, not that long later, I'm scrolling through something and I was like, "Oh, I need to look up my notes from something," right? I don't remember what it was, but I went into a Word document that I wasn't planning on going into, and I opened it and I looked at the notes for something, and literally the words were "stop and smell the roses." And I cracked up and I was like, "All right, I'll take the rose on the calendar. Like, I get it. It can happen that fast." So just don't discount, and our questioning logical mind, especially me, I'm a Virgo. Like, I question everything. I drive my husband insane. I ask him 25,000. I drive doctors insane. I'm a questioning person. I just need to know and understand, and it's insane. But I learned that day, like, just don't question it. Just don't question it. So I wanted to come on here and share all of that with you today before I go live in about a half an hour for oracle card readings for the summit on Zoom. And again, you can still join us at elevatedexistencesummit.com because it's final replay season. So all the interviews from January to today will be opened and closed sort of in chunks so you can digest them. And they'll be open for days at a time. This weekend, all of the interviews from March are going to be open for everybody to listen to. And there was, oh my God, we had Joan Ranquette, who's an animal communicator. We had Denise Mange, who's a pet numerologist. We had, oh my God, so many great people. We just had Stephanie Banks yesterday, who's an intuitive channel. And a lot of these people are offering, one-on-one sessions with them at a discount. Okay. So those of you who are on, please, I always forget to say, like the video. If you can hit like on the video while you're on here, whether you're live or on the replay, because that truly lets the algorithms of the universe and the Facebook and YouTube and all of that know that you like this content, and then it's more likely to show it to more people. So if you can just hit like, that would be awesome. I just want to go through some of the comments here to see if I missed anything or if anybody had any questions. John is saying, I get feathers, coins, red roses, and perfume smells from a dear friend I lost many years ago. That's amazing, John. I love that. And I love the perfume smell. Sometimes I literally, it's funny because I don't know if it's necessarily her perfume, because my mother wore different perfumes. But I always just say, like, I can smell my mother sometimes. Like, it's just her smell. And I love that. I love that they're able to do that and use that. Suzanne, oh, why is it not working? I asked my late husband to send me any signs, and he sends me song lyrics. Songs are a big one. My mother uses songs on the radio a lot. So yes, I always feel like these glasses, I can't, there's like a weird glare. Let me just use these other ones because they're blue light glasses. These don't glare as much. So yes, songs on the radio are another big one. Let me see. Okay, Lil Foreman has a question. Tammy, I'm wondering if the beyond the veil helpers are actually different aspects of ourself that are beyond the veil communicating back to ourselves. I believe that there are different souls and different helpers that are there. So in other words, if you call on Wayne Dyer, who's passed away, or Louise Hay, who's passed away, that is their soul. I do believe we have an aspect of ourselves, our soul, our higher self still on the other side that we can communicate with. So I believe we're all connected, right? We're all one. We're all connected in that way. That's why we can call on anybody, no matter what religion or background you're from, because on the other side, everything is connected. There's no separation or religion. But I do believe that there are souls on the other side that are their own distinct souls, even though we are all connected. But I also believe we have an aspect of our higher self. So you can actually communicate. Yesterday, I did an amazing interview in the summit with Stephanie Banks. And so she's an intuitive channel. And what she does is she channels the soul. So you can go to her and she will channel your own higher self. She can channel loved ones who have passed on. She can channel animals. She can also channel the soul of someone still living, because there's an aspect of us that exists at that higher level that knows everything, right? And that's really the soul or the higher self. And I do believe that there is an aspect of that on the other side that we can connect to. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Okay, Trudy says, having difficulty finding a sign to answer a question. Problem could be how I phrase the question to answer for a sign. It could be. Sometimes, well, it depends on what you're trying to do. So sometimes I will I'm doing the wrong glasses again. I'm telling you, I can't wait to hand this book in so that my insanity stops. So sometimes you can ask for a specific sign and say, please let me know I'm on the right path. I call that a sign of reassurance. And so you can say, use XYZ sign so that I know that I'm on the right path or headed in the right direction. If you're looking for a specific answer to something, you might phrase it as, if this is what I should do, or if this is my answer, can you send me the sign of X, Y, and Z? That would be another one to try it that way. But I sort of like the sign of reassurance to let you know you're on the right path, because I feel like what I find is that you can't really make a wrong turn with the universe. It will always redirect you. So as long as I know I'm on the right path, I know that if I head in a direction that maybe is not the best for me, the universe will put up a roadblock, or find a way to, I'll go through that for a reason, but then it will divert me on the right path. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Lil. She just said thank you. Okay, so I came here to, oh, Mary's saying, hold on. I didn't see yesterday's. I have to go back and listen to it. Yes, channeling. I was thinking of something else. Yes, I'm glad you've loved the summit. Mary, go back and listen to Stephanie. She's her replay will be open all weekend, because I'm opening right now her replay is open, but everybody's will be open as of tomorrow, just from the month of March. So you'll be able to listen to that. But Stephanie was amazing yesterday. And I love what she does. And I love that she also, not only does she channel for people, but she teaches them how to channel themselves, which I think is amazing. So you will love her if you're into intuition, or, just understanding the perspective of the soul. Is fascinating, totally fascinating. So yes, let's see, hold on. Lil, is posing a question needed to be asked in a certain manner? No, I don't necessarily think it needs to be asked in a certain manner. It depends on if you're asking for a question for a sign, or if you're asking for a question, like if you're doing an oracle card reading or something like that. The way that I like to ask a question with that is, what do I most need to know about? Or if you're doing something more specific, like a tarot card reading or something, you might say, if you're doing a broader reading, you might say, show me, what do I most need to know that's a possible path for me in the next so many months, or something like that. That's a way that you can. But if you're asking a question, and you want a sign for it, I would just say, if this is the case, or if this is what I should be doing, if this is the right path for me, use the sign X, Y, and Z. You could even be more specific and say, if I need to think more and maybe not make this decision as quickly, use X sign. So now you could be looking for two different ones. That's another way to pose it. Um, okay. Oh, Trudy said thank you. That helps. Good, good, good. I'm glad. Um, Yes, yeah, Oracle inquiries I find, I like to do, so I'm going to do Oracle card readings right now for the summit to close it out. But what I always like to do with an Oracle card reading is, what do I most need to know about X, Y, and Z? What do I not know that if I did would make a difference? What do I most need to be aware of around this situation? That's sort of usually how I pose it, and then it kind of opens it up a little bit, if that makes sense. Okay. Stacy said, "Can you ask advice for a love situation from a loved one?" So, if you're talking about what I was talking about with the channeling with Stephanie, the way she explains it is, you can tap into the loved one's soul. And I've done this through meditations, actually, where my higher self has talked to someone else higher self, and I've brought people through that as well. So your higher self can talk to someone else's higher self to get information. And so basically what Stephanie allows people to do in her sessions is, she's able, like, if you were having an issue with your child, or you're having an issue with a significant other, she can get your higher self's perspective and their higher self's perspective to understand a situation. But you can also ask a loved one on the other side for that as well. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about there, but I do believe that we all have the ability to access not just our own higher self, but the higher self of others. Okay. I'm going to jump off because it's 12:30 and I want to grab something to eat real fast before I go live for the last Summit Oracle card readings. Hopefully I will see some of you there. And again, if you're not part of the summit yet, this is still a great time to join, because you'll be able to access all of them over the next couple of weeks as we open and close different interviews. Everybody has free gifts, special offers. There's 2 classes that I taught specifically that are available. You can even watch all of the old past Oracle card reading sessions that I have done. And that's elevatedexistencesummit.com. It'll end in the next couple of weeks, and then when it's gone, it's gone. So take advantage of all those free gifts and special offers from people. Thank you all for being here. I miss you guys. I'm excited to be back. I will be back again next Thursday, I promise. I'll be back. The only time I think I may not be back is I'm going away in April at some point, and I think I'll be gone for that Thursday, but I will give you a heads up. And so thank you all for being here. You guys are amazing. Again, please like the video if you are enjoying this content. And if you're on the replay, hello, sending love to you as well. Please feel free to leave a comment, and I will be happy to get back to it later. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you back here next week for another weekly Spirit Boost. Bye.